the slate of games this year, I can't remember a better group of games in years, if ever. I mean, I can't wait.
You know, out of that slate of games that I just mentioned, I mean, obviously you've been an Alabama fan. You're very excited about USC. I'm excited about the Clemson game, being an Auburn fan. But take those two games out of the mix. Which game are you looking forward to the most out of those? And I'll go back through them. Ole Miss, Florida State, North Carolina, Georgia, with Kirby Smart being first-year head coach at Georgia. You having some ties there with Alabama. Are you excited for that game? What's going to happen between Oklahoma and Houston? Houston is the hot team in the country. Just a lot of people felt like they needed to be in that playoff last year. Oklahoma was in that playoff.
Yes.
Who ends up with the L? Does Texas get things turned around with Charlie Strong, with Notre Dame coming in and starting off there? Do you care about A&M and UCLA at all? I mean, those are some games right there. I didn't go through. I didn't even mention LSU, Wisconsin.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Who strikes your fancy the most?
When you asked me the question, the first thing I thought of was the Ole Miss Florida State game. I think
I'm getting more of that from everybody than anything.
And of course, being a Bammer, I got to see what Ole Miss has this year. It'll be nice to finally
looking
get
for
that
3 in a row
back.
against y'all this year.
What are you talking about? We haven't played them in 2 years. I don't remember any of those. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sure you didn't.
But yes, that's one of the games that's really sticking out. And then also, like you mentioned, that Houston-Oklahoma game. I think Houston is the hot pick this year, just because of their schedule and their conference as well. But Oklahoma is also that program it's going to run through the Big 12. Everyone says as well too. So I think that's going to be a huge matchup, and I feel like that could have some playoff.
It's definitely got playoff implications, and I mean that's the thing that you got to look at from a scheduling standpoint for both of those teams, because really after this game, there ain't much on there. So
exactly.
I mean, this is a massive game for both of them as far as quality win, and so if you're Houston and you go 11-1 and you lose to Oklahoma, and they go, well, that was really you shot right there and you blew it. So that's going to get some attention.
Huge game for them.
And a lot of after the way they played Florida State in that bowl game and really laid it to them. A lot of people want to see how they'll react as the hunted, not the hunter, this year. So a lot of teams, what's Texas A&M going to do against a UCLA team that's very talented, with off the field problems, issues going on? Kevin Sumlin on the hot seat. How will he handle that game? And I'm telling you, from a standpoint of wheels falling off, the worst thing could happen for Texas A&M is to open up the season with a loss.
It could already spell the end for him right there, because I feel like this is a huge season for him. This is a pivotal season for him at that program. When he came in, there was so much hype, and there was the swag copter, and there was all this stuff going on, how A&M was going to come in and run the SEC and everything, and it's completely went the opposite direction.
And then they have a vulgar coaches clinic with women with all those, and then they have to come. I mean, there's something. But Trevor Knight, the quarterback from Oklahoma, comes over to Texas A&M, and a lot of people feel like maybe he was still the better quarterback at Oklahoma than Baker Mayfield. But Baker Mayfield takes that position. He chooses to transfer. So a lot of people, I've been shocked. I'll be honest. Maybe I'm missing something. A lot of high predictions for A&M. I'm talking 9-10 wins this year.
It's the same every season, it feels like to me at this point. I kind of thought that coming in. I had really high hopes on Sumlin. But like you said, 9-10 wins again. I have to see it. I have to see it first.
Yeah, I definitely will too. 1-800-782-0108, 256-234-6464. Really just getting started here on Sportz Blitz Live, running down these games. We'll be breaking things down. We got a great guest coming up from out in California, out at USC's practice. Going to be there, stepping out of USC's practice to come on the show with us and talk about this opener between the men of Troy and Alabama. So Alabama.
Lots of confidence coming out of USC.
I don't know why.
Lots of confidence.
Everybody's undefeated right now, man. Yeah. Everybody's hopes are high. Clay Helton is his season opener as a head football coach. Talking about getting thrown to the fire. Here's an interesting stat. I'm going to bring this up with our interview. Something's got to give Saturday. USC has won 17 consecutive season openers.
Wow.
Alabama has won 14
consecutive close,
season openers. Somebody going to lose. I think I know who it's going to be.
I guess we'll see.
We'll see. Somebody, unless a bomb goes off and have to postpone the game. But I mean, that 17 years in a row for USC, 14 for Alabama. I mean, that's big time streak, and USC to have battled all the stuff that they've dealt with over the last several years still has that lore about them as far as their name and what they got. So can they get off to a good start with a win over Alabama? I mean, and let's just say this. I'm going to play devil's advocate for you for a minute. What if Alabama does slip and they lose this game to USC? Where do you go as far as, because we don't know if it's going to be Bateman or Barnett. We don't know which one is the starter there. You may have an idea more than I do because you follow them a lot closer. But, immediately if you lose that game, whoever gets that start is going to get questioned. Yeah,
exactly. And it's coming off of a national championship season as well. So, losing some of the talent that they did, which Alabama has over the years, but still been able to regain that, it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know how I would describe that because it really hadn't happened that much in a while. So it's kind of a tough place to be in.
Yes, it's not a place you want to go to.
So what you're telling me, so USC, 17 straight season openers. So what you're telling me the past 5 or 6 years, they really hadn't played anybody first game of the season?
Well,
is that about right?
I'm going to play well, maybe not. Maybe not. Alabama has, the Virginia Techs and the Wisconsin. Of course, y'all always catch them when they're down. So,
of course.
That's just what everybody says, right? Anyway, but anyway, we'll see some Alabama ties, the state of Alabama ties to USC with T. Martin out there as an offense coordinator. All this stuff I'm going to talk about a little bit later on. Adam, high school football is off in full swing. The Hoover Bucks traveled out to Allen, Texas, and got beat 23-7.
What does that say about that program there? Because it's easy to say that Hoover may be the best, one of the best, if not the best program in the state. So what does it say that they go in somewhere like that and get held to, 7 points?
Well, I'll be honest with you, and Hoover has struggled offensively the last couple of years. Their defense is phenomenal. I saw them 2 weeks ago at the Champions Challenge against Phoenix City, and teams are going to have a hard time to score and finding ways to score on Hoover. But their offense is susceptible to turnovers and not moving the ball as they've been used to in the past. So we'll see if that haunts them this year. I mean, they didn't make it to the state championship game for the first time in forever last year. You go out to Texas, though, you're playing somebody good. I watched opening weekend on ESPN, and they featured several Texas teams, and I mean, they just play great football. They're big schools.
Really
kudos for Hoover for traveling outside the border and going out there and taking on Allen, Texas. Hoover's been in their fair share of unbelievable season openers. They opened up with Nice, Florida 1 year on ESPN with Tim Tebow, beat him. They've opened up in Ohio in the Kirk Herbstreit Classic. They've traveled all over the place.
They really have, and they've really become a national powerhouse. And a top 10 in the nation.
We had a daggum show, 2-season show, MTV.
That's kind of what I talk about. So it is fun. It's nice to follow a program like that, but just because of the impact they have nationwide.
But we'll run down some scores. We'll take your calls. We'll have players of the game coming up as well. We're going to go ahead and take a break here on the program. When we come back, we'll have a great guest coming your way. Talk some USC football as they get set for the Alabama Crimson Tide, the defending national champion. Stay tuned. More Sportz Blitz Live presented by JR's and SNS Discount Tire right after this.
Your comfort is our number one concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's train dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our number one concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
The Sure Shot, located on Highway 280 in Alexander City, is Lake Martin Sportsman's headquarters. In the market for a new rifle or shotgun? Come to the Sure Shot. Want a new bow or need to practice with the one you have? Come to the Sure Shot. Thinking about a firearm for self-defense? Come to the Sure Shot. Got a hunt planned and need some gear? Come to the Sure Shot. for all your archery, shooting, and hunting needs. Let the Sure Shot be your first stop.
If your New Year's resolution is to stop walking and start riding, then resolve yourself to run to Lake Martin Truck and Auto on Old Dadeville Road. Lake Martin Truck and Auto is the bank, and you don't need to worry about past credit, getting your tax money, or finding the ride that suits you, because Lake Martin Truck and Auto has the lowest down payments and monthly payments in the area with the best selection. Don't let the Slick City dealer take all that tax money or hassle you with credit. Lake Martin Truck and Auto, Old Dadeville Road in Alex City.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Over the years, S&S Tires grown into the Lake Martin area's largest volume tire dealer. S&S Tire offers the industry's best brand names: Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Firestone, and much, much more. The tire pros at S&S offer professional installation and the region's best price. In addition to your tire needs, S&S offers full automotive mechanical work for all your vehicle maintenance and repair needs with the area's most experienced staff. Visit either of our 2 locations on Cherokee Road in Alex City or at South Street in Dadeville. At S&S Tire, we're installing peace of mind for every customer we serve. Every job, every day.
Ready to put some fun in your life? Whether it's Central or East Alabama, North Alabama, West Georgia, or wherever you're from, Fun Carts of Opelika is your authorized E-Z-GO cart dealer that has no limits on a perfect E-Z-GO cart. Whether it's a fully customized cart or a stock-made cart, we'll deliver it on time and at the best price. Fun Carts gives you the service after the sale, so no matter if it's hunting, tailgating, motorhoming, fleet rental, or just a better way to get around, Fun Carts of Opelika has it and will customize it to your needs. Visit us in Opelika or call us or visit online for the best E-Z-GO carts. Put a little fun in your life with Fun Carts of Opelika.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Bice Motors in Alexander City. Brian and his crew offer the latest lines of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, as well as the best used inventory around. Guaranteed lowest price. Bice.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR's Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire. Brett Pritchard and Adam Blankenship here with you till 9 o'clock. We'd love to hear from you. Adam really not expecting to be here till 9, but anyway, we'll see when Scott Hardy will come in from the bullpen to relieve you tonight. But glad to have you here tonight, Adam, because, hey, man, if you're going to fill in for somebody, why not fill in on the first week of college football?
Exactly. It's not like there's nothing to talk about.
I was about to say, we'll blink and the show will be over. But
exactly.
The phone lines will be open. We're waiting to catch up with Chris Swanson from TrojanSports.com. He is at USC's practice right now. We've already talked to him, waiting for that to conclude. He's going to step out, give us an exclusive interview here on Sports Blitz Live to talk about USC football, some stuff to talk about with USC. We'll save for the interview with Chris, but I want to dive into some high school football. This past Friday night really was week 1, because the first week they call week 0 now, Adam, because there are jamborees and everybody doesn't necessarily play a game that counts the first week. But
I kind of feel like that's going to eventually shift over to everyone kind of plays. And I like the way these Champions Challenge matchups go. I like to see that kind of expand statewide and do a bit more of that.
I agree with you. I agree. I want to start off the show here in high school with a score that is unbelievable. And I don't know how familiar you are with Manatee High School in Florida. Notoriously a very good program. And Hewitt Trustful travels to Manatee and plays this past Friday, and they beat Manatee 78-56.
Jump back on the bus to go into the house.
That is an Arena League score right there. I mean,
78-0.
Talking about no defense, but there's so many teams in Florida, and you hear Manatee High School all the time.
Yeah.
And Hewitt Trustful goes down and puts 78. Now, they gave up 56, so you got to be a little concerned on defense, but you score 78 and you win by 20.
Yeah.
So that was a crazy score.
It's going to be one of those things where the defensive coach has plenty to work on all season, has plenty to fuss about on Monday.
There's no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt. I'll correct myself on the score with Hoover Allen High School of Texas defeated them not 23-7 but 25-7 to start the 2016 season. Spain Park defeated Muscle Shoals. Muscle Shoals has been a team that's been at the top of the rankings in 6A. Spain Park being a 7A school, they beat them 35-18. So a lot of times, again, you see these opening games, you see some tough opponents. You see teams able to rebound. I mean, they know they play a tough opponent. It's not a region game. You kind of have a barometer of where you are as a football team. Expect Muscle Shoals to rebound, but that says something about Spain Park too there, Adam.
And Spain Park's really become a powerhouse in the state. Like they're every single year they're ready to go. I mean, they're competing with the Hoovers of the world, and they're beating the Hoovers, and they're beating the big Birmingham schools. So, I mean, it's been fun to watch the rise of their program.
No doubt about it. Here's a rival game that start the year off, and a lot of times you've seen this happen more and more as rival schools play each other week 1 rather than week 10.
Yeah.
Because if you're at a classification like these two schools I'm about to talk about are, it really does you no good to play week 10 when both of you are trying to get or have secured a playoff berth probably, and there's nothing to gain. It really diminishes. Week 1, all the chips are on the table. You can let it fly a little bit. Opelika and Auburn. Opelika blanks Auburn 28-0.
Bulldogs are going to be a scary team this year. I mean, you think replacing their quarterback last year and losing some of the guys that they did, that they were going to maybe be a rebound, but man, they seem like they're stronger than
a quarterfinal team last year.
Yeah.
Only one loss. They are a favorite in 6A, no doubt. Here's some interesting scores. Montgomery's flipping and flopping right now. Jeff Davis and Robert E. Lee have been down for a while. It's been Carver. They've been the flag bearer for Montgomery. Mm-hmm. If you look down at the score of these teams playing one another, Jeff Davis, who was just outside the top 10 in the rankings, 35-19 winners over Carver. So changing of the guard down in Montgomery as you see some of these schools.
And a fun thing about that, too, is like they said this is the first year that all of the schools will actually play each other. So you'll have a true Montgomery City champion. So that's going to be fun to watch.
It will. It'll be interesting because Sidney Lanier's better. Obviously, Robert E. Lee's already notched a win. So these teams are very talented moving forward. Some more scores. McGill-Tulane defeated Davidson 39-36. McGill-Tulane is your defending 7A champs. I don't think they were really expecting a 3-point win over Davidson to start the season, but it just shows you, Benjamin Russell, a 3-point loss to a Central Clay team that's very good. They were 12-2 last year. Start off the season 0-1. McGill-Tulane's your 7A champs. They narrowly squeak out a win and win 39-36. In high school football, it can be vastly different from one year to the next.
Yeah, definitely.
So, some more scores here as we end the high school segment. A team that's got a very good talented quarterback that's a senior this year, McAdory, defeats Dallas County 33-7. Gardendale upsets James Clemens 26-13. A shocker there for everybody. James Clemens, a lot of people felt like maybe the favorite to win 7A.
Yeah.
Gardendale goes up there and puts one on them. So there's a few scores from around the state. We didn't get to all of them, obviously, but we'll continue to run those down. I do have to mention this because we mentioned it on our local show just a little bit ago. The Spanish Fort game. Spanish Fort defeated Daphne 26-7. Starting quarterback last week broke his leg. This week, the backup quarterback gets in a fight with his own team, another teammate, on the sideline. He gets ejected, suspended. Had to go to the third-string quarterback, and they still win 26-7 over their rival.
Still get a win.
Daphne. So kudos to them continuing on. They are your defending 6A state champs. We're going to take a break. Hopefully when we come back, we'll have Chris Swanson with TrojanSports.com on the phone with us. Stay tuned. More Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR's and SNS Discount Tire right after this.
Ted bought a Camry. Neighbor Ted bought a Sonata Sport at Hyundai of Auburn and paid $2,000 less. He has no payment for 6 months, saving $3,000 cash flow. With his savings, he bought a boat. Every time Bob sees Ted's boat, it makes him sad. He paid too much. Ted is trying to make Bob happy again by inviting him fishing. Be a Ted at Hyundai of Auburn. What will you do with the money you save?
In a world that's ever-changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a 4-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you. Central to your success.
Don't you know there's no clean like Peaches and Clean?
Wow, your carpets look fantastic.
Yeah, thanks to Peaches and Clean.
They look new again.
They also clean my kitchen tile.
Simply amazing. I'm calling Peaches and Clean today.
Just call 502-5326. Oh yeah, they have an area rug cleaning facility too.
Peaches and Clean is now expanded to the Alexander City Lake Martin Market. Give them a call at 334-502-5326.
Call us up at Peaches and Clean.
You know, these Zaxby's fried pickles really take me back to Meemaw's kitchen.
Yeah, Meemaw really would have loved these. Is that a time machine?
Yep, and I brought Meemaw back with me.
That's not Meemaw.
Ooh. Okay, let's get you back inside.
Better than Grandma's? Maybe. Indescribably good? Definitely. Fried pickles are back. Lightly breaded, fried to perfection, and served with ranch sauce. Try them before they're gone. Zaxby's.
Your comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's train dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our #1 concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
When it's time to buy your teen's first vehicle, you think safety. Your teen thinks style. At Talladega Ford, we have style and safety. Ford has more 5-star safety-rated vehicles than any other car manufacturer. Ford goes that extra mile to make sure you are safe. Government safety standards are based on a 30-mile-per-hour crash. Ford goes a little further. We test our cars at 35 miles per hour. Come by Talladega Ford today so we can show you how safety and style go hand in hand.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Dark Insurance, offering insurance for all your personal needs, including auto, boat, homeowners, and disability. Don't be in the dark. Call Dark Insurance at 256-234-5026.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire. Brett Pritchard, Adam Blankenship here with you, and at this time we'll go to our hotline and welcome in Chris Swanson with TrojanSports.com to talk a little USC football. Chris, thanks so much for being on the program tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you stepping out of practice. I know the Trojans in practice right now. You stepped out of the practice behind the wall to talk to us. So we, here in the state of Alabama, appreciate that. And Chris, I'll just dive right into it. It's going to be another epic matchup in a full lineup of epic matchups to start the college football season this coming up weekend. It starts Thursday. It ends Monday. You guys play Alabama, the defending national champs, in prime time at 7 o'clock from Texas. Just talk about the enormity of this game for both teams.
Oh, I think it's huge for both teams, because I think that anytime you have a cross-conference matchup between, two programs like USC and Alabama, they have the history that they do. Both teams really want to impress and show something. I think in a way, it's a bit bigger for USC because USC was that program that was, the dynasty, the current dynasty just a few years before Alabama really got going. I think that USC wants to prove, that they're still in that conversation as a top team. So I think that, for them, their performance might mean a little bit more to how the country is going to perceive USC as a program going forward. So I think that if I had to pick a team where I thought, there's a little bit more on the line for them, I'm leaning towards USC. But it's a huge game for both schools, no doubt.
Yeah, Chris, the old adage, if you're trying to get back to where you've been before, like a USC, to be the best, you got to beat the best. So obviously Alabama has set the bar very high in college football the last 6 or 7 years with 4 national championships, continuing what Nick Saban's done, building that program. So USC with Coach Helton diving into what, again, starting off the season with the best and trying to get that USC program back. So I thought this was an interesting stat. USC has opened up the season the past 17 years with a win. Alabama has opened up the season with 14 straight wins. So something's got to give there on Saturday.
Yeah, it's totally true. I think that anytime you see two big programs like USC and Alabama, they're going to win conference openers, and both of those schools actually schedule tough conference openers. A lot of times it's not just, the Fresno States or the Georgia Southerns or whatever to open the season. I think that it shows that, even when SC is down, they've still accomplished something. They haven't completely fallen off the tracks. I think that it shows that USC is the type of program that is good enough to deal with the sanctions that they've had to go through and has kept pretty consistent, not the same level that they were, not a national championship level, but they haven't completely fallen apart. And for Alabama, I think that just proves, what Nick Saban has built there and what that program is under him and just the continued tradition that Alabama has had over the years of being a top program. That's what I think of when I think, wow, teams won 14 straight openers, especially when they're scheduling the teams that Alabama has scheduled to open the season. It's very impressive. Both staffs up.
Hey, Chris, Adam here. I want to dive off a little bit to the X's and O's. Well, what are some of the key matchups that you guys have your eyes on this upcoming weekend?
Yeah, I think that really it's Juju Smith-Schuster versus whoever they decide to put on him, the USC receiver. I think that that's USC's biggest playmaker on offense, USC's biggest star. The question is, how big of a star is he against an SEC defense, against the defense that's proven to be one of the top in the country? Would Juju Smith-Schuster just be another guy on Alabama's roster, or is he really this special? That's what I'm looking to see. I'm looking to see if he can really take over the game for USC on offense and get them going and get them scoring against a really, really tough defense. And then, I'm looking to see the matchup in the trenches on both sides of the ball. USC's offensive line has been picked to be one of the better ones in the country, one of the better ones in the Pac-12. They're going to get a big test early. I want to see how that offensive line goes up against the defensive front. It's always among the best in college football. And then on the other side, you just flip it around. Alabama always has an incredibly strong offensive line. They do again this year. And USC's defensive front's a little bit of a question mark, so I want to see if the Trojans can hold up against that test defensively. So there's a lot of interesting matchups to watch here. I think that really what it boils down to is I want to see how far apart USC and Alabama actually are at this point. And I think that that's what a lot of people are watching for in this game.
Yeah, Chris, and we've got Chris Swanson on the phone with us from TrojanSports.com, their rival site. And Chris, one of the things that I had written down to talk to you about is Juju Smith-Schuster and his playmaking ability against a secondary for Alabama that lost some key players that will have some questions to answer. But can that offensive line block that defensive front for Alabama to keep pressure off the quarterback? On the flip side, Calvin Ridley, one of the better receivers in the country. Defensively, USC is going to have to deal with that guy, and he looks like, for Alabama fans here in the state, the next Amari Cooper, who people out in California are familiar with because he plays for the Raiders now. So on defense, you're looking at Calvin Ridley there. And then on offense, who do you prefer for? Is it Bateman or Barnett? And which one would USC rather play if they had their rathers?
Oh, I'm not really sure, honestly, about which quarterback USC would prefer to play. I think that Nick Saban does such a good job keeping things under wraps from the media down there that it's kind of hard to get a picture of who's the better option for USC at this point. I'm guessing Blake Barnett, maybe just because I've seen him in person before, and I think that USC has some quarterbacks on the roster that could simulate him very well. So if I had to guess, I would guess that USC would rather see Barnett, but I'm not entirely sure on that answer.
Well, Chris, a couple more questions here before we let you go. I know you want to get back into practice, and as they wrap up out there on the West Coast, sophomore linebacker Osa Messina suspended for this game. Do you have any info on that? What went down, and is that a big loss for USC?
It's a big loss in terms of the fact that he's a talented linebacker and he is a big name recruit coming out of high school. He was a reserve on the depth chart. I believe he's number 2 at his position, inside linebacker. So it's not huge because in the sense that he's not a starter for USC. He's not somebody that USC was counting on to have a significant impact in this game. In terms of depth, it does hurt USC because USC needs all the bodies that they can have right now. They're still feeling the effects of the sanctions. Even if you look at the roster, the numbers might be there, but they did have a bunch of 15-man recruiting classes. So I think they need all the bodies they can get on defense right now. So I think it's a big deal if USC loses Osa Messina for multiple games. Game 1, I can't really say that. We'll find out more as time passes. There's obviously going to be questions for Clay Helton after today's practice about it. Right now, it looks like he's being investigated for 2 sexual assault charges. So that's just kind of a wait and see thing, I believe, and who knows what will happen. And I think that if USC gets him back, it's a good thing, and if they lose him indefinitely, it's a big deal. But game 1, I can't say it's going to make a big difference against a team like Alabama.
All right, Chris, I read also where Max Brown has recently been named the starting quarterback for USC. What are some of the things that we can expect from watching him play this Saturday?
Yeah, Max Brown is a good pocket quarterback, a pro-style type guy with a good arm. He's smart. He knows the offense well. I think you're going to see a guy that doesn't make a lot of mistakes, that's efficient and will help USC move the ball downfield. I wouldn't expect him to make any sort of plays with his legs. I think that his weakness would be his legs, and maybe Alabama could exploit that. But I kind of see him as a guy, a field general that's going to stand in the pocket and make the right decisions and move USC down the field. I think he'll show that over the season, at least this year. I can't say what he's going to do against Alabama. It wouldn't surprise me if Max Brown had a tough game in that one. But I expect him to be a very good quarterback at the college level and to help USC win some games this year.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you being on the program tonight. As always, again, I know you're busy, and I've got to say, I know you follow the Trojans on a daily basis. But your thoughts on the game Saturday? What does USC have to do to come out of that game with a win? What is the one thing, if they had to choose to do well, what do they got to do to win this game?
Oh, it's hard to pick because I think that USC has to do a lot of things well to beat Alabama. I think that USC has to play a very good game and not make mistakes to beat Alabama. If I had to pick one thing, I'd say that the offensive line has to show up. Chad Wheeler isn't slotted to play in this game. Chuma Edoga, a very young tackle who's only started 2 games in his USC career, is going to start at left tackle. I think the offensive line has to hold up. I think that's first and foremost. If USC can open some run lanes against Alabama, give Max Brown time, USC might have a chance in this game if the offense can move. Clancy Pendergast, USC's defensive coordinator, is a big-time defensive coordinator. He's going to put together a good defense at USC this year, no matter who they have, no matter what the depth issues are. It's just what he does if you look at Clancy Pendergast's history as a DC. So I'd say in this game, USC's offensive line needs to show up and give their offense a chance to beat Alabama.
Well, Chris, we really appreciate you being on the program tonight. And again, looking forward to the game on Saturday. Primetime kickoff at 7 o'clock. Central Time as Alabama and USC battle it out to start the season. Chris, thanks so much, my man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, you have a good day. Thank you so much. That's Chris Swanson with TrojanSports.com, the rival site there. A lot of great insights, stepping out of practice there to be on our program tonight.
Exactly. And no matter the outcome of the game this Saturday, one thing that USC will have us beat on is their weather. It's probably a lot better than what we're going through.
Is that all y'all can give?
That's all I can think
you can pull out right now?
That's the only way I can think of they can compete.
Y'all take a class as a small child on how to be an Alabama fan. But anyway, we'll take a break and we come back. I think Scott Hardy might be in the building.
Who?
Yeah.
He's here?
I think Scott Hardy might be in the building. Anyway, we'll come back. Hopefully Scott will join me. Adam, thank you so much. Appreciate you jumping in here for the first half of the show. Stay tuned. More Sportz Blitz Live presented by JR's and SNS Discount Tire right after this.
If you've been putting off that new heating and air unit in your home because of the upfront expenses, Williams Plumbing of Alexander City now has primary financing from Synchrony and can now install brand new heating and cooling systems with zero down, longer terms, and a competitive rate. Call Williams Plumbing at 256-329-8488 and get a free quote and terms and upgrade up to $35,000 in work with approved credit. Williams Plumbing stands behind their work with on-time affordable service for all your heating and air needs, as well as plumbing for zero down financing and great service. Williams Plumbing.
Foshi Boat Dock, located on Highway 280 in Dadeville, Alabama, can handle your boat from bow to stern. Let's start with safety. Life jackets, kill switches, and other safety equipment, trailer tires to spark plugs, accessories galore, new and used motors, jet skis, pontoons, runabout boats. Brett Foshi has 20-plus years in keeping us afloat. Come on by today at Foshi Boat Dock in Dadeville, 256-825-5525.
At U.S. AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. AmeriBank difference. U.S. AmeriBank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Bucks Island is one of the oldest boat dealers in Alabama, serving boaters since 1948 with the largest boat showroom in the state. Bass boats featuring Skeeter, cruisers and sport boats featuring Monterey, pontoons featuring Crest, G3 and Voyagers, powered by Mercury and Yamaha. Bucks Island has sold over 10,000 boats and with a full service and parts and accessories department to keep your boat in top condition. Don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote. Visit Bucks Island on Highway 77 in Southside or online at bucksisland.com. Give them a call at 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island, where our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Russell Do-It Center and Russell Building Supply is locally owned and operated with over 30 years experience providing a wide array of lumber, building materials, hardware, electrical and plumbing supplies, paint, tools, and garden products. Our employees' superior product knowledge and top-notch customer service allows us to help select the best products that will work for you. We provide free product estimates and takeoffs, free local delivery, and ask about our price match promise. Russell Do-It Center and Russell Building Supply. Experience and knowledge from the pros.
Now's the time to make a splash during the summer clearance event at Bice Motors. Get incredible summer savings on our entire inventory. Save over $10,000 on a great selection of new 2016 Ram trucks. Thinking about a Jeep? Bice has the Lake Martin area's largest selection of Jeep Renegades, Patriots, Compass, Cherokees, and Grand Cherokees, all priced to move.
Guaranteed lowest price, or we'll pay you the difference in price twice.
Don't miss the summer clearance event going on now. BiceChryslerDodge.com.
And now, Scott Hardy here with us.
Hey guys.
Hey, you're run ragged, aren't you?
I'm what day is it?
I don't know. It's been a whirlwind since Friday. That's all I can tell you. But anyway, glad to have you here. Safe, at least. You know, you've been all over the place. all over the place since Friday. But Scott, a lot to talk about tonight. Just had Chris Swanson on, talk some Alabama and USC football. He was at USC's practice as they get ready. Man, tall task for the Trojans to open up. Alabama and Nick Saban really kind of narrowed it down like we knew between Bateman and Barnett. Of course, the talk about Jalen Hurts had been pretty rampant the last couple of weeks. We had Stephen M. Smith on here. He kind of broke the news, and then everybody said, well, don't know where he got that from. So, and then he came out with another one, and then the kid tweets out that I'm never said that, and I'm going to bet Alabama my whole life. So
I feel for Stephen.
What's going on there? But here's the thing I want to ask. Man, you have got to, in this day and age, you got to figure out, and yes, we all want to beat each other to the punch and be the the media outlet that breaks the story, so to say. But I mean, man, with all the different social media outlets and everything that's out there right now, man, you are putting your reputation on the line.
Shout out to the bull.
So, but you really are. You're putting your reputation on the line. And in this business, if you hit a couple of snags, man, you can be out. You can be toast. You can be, blackballed.
Those were major too. It wasn't like he missed on a recruit or something like that.
And so, yeah, I mean, and you're around a program like Alabama's, and you've made these, I guess 2 mistakes. I mean, obviously he felt good about. He wouldn't throw that out there unless he felt good about it. But you make two of those mistakes, and now everybody's like, man, this guy, And we've had Steven on, and Luke talked about it Saturday, and I think he has always done great, and he's always done some big things and given us some great insight, and he's been right on a lot of things. And that's the thing about it. You can be right on 99 things in this business, and the one thing you're wrong on gets all the attention. So he's just happened to have a couple in a couple weeks. And, I mean, if he were on the show tonight, I think he'd tell you it ain't been a couple good weeks for him.
Yeah, and I think the point, because of what program it is, that escalates the situation or brings more attention to the situation comparative to maybe if it was a smaller school. But the access to Alabama as a whole, if you're a beat writer for Alabama, I think there's a different mindset that you're expected to have. And so you're right, if you're getting information.
That much jumping out on a limb when you're saying Jalen Hurts going to be your starter.
Yeah.
I mean, it threw shockwaves out there. But Bateman and Barnett, this is where I think everybody thought we'd be with Alabama right now going into this. I mean, Cooper Bateman's got a start over Barnett right now, but didn't look very good at the beginning of the Ole Miss game and was pulled in favor of Jake Coker. And Jake Coker did a pretty good job of bringing Alabama back, but I think the damage had already been done in that game mentally to try to overcome. Of course, Ole Miss was fortunate to have a couple, bounces, plays that went their way, but I think it'll be Cooper Bateman to start, don't you think?
I think he's probably – I think that's who they have the most comfort level with because he's been there. I mean, he almost has won the job previously. So I think from an experience standpoint and from a comfort level of being in the system with Kiffin, that probably makes the most sense. Now, both have been around the program, don't get me wrong, but I think from a comfort level, from a play calling standpoint and what he allows you to be able to do, and the pedigree is there. So I think that's probably who it's going to be.
Where does Stephen M. Smith go from? We got a lot of little feedback here in the studio, so maybe we can get that correct. Where does Stephen M. Smith go from here? I mean, how do you work your way back into credibility? Because right now he's damaged. I mean, let's just be honest about it. And the people that you're hanging around with and the team that you're covering right now, I mean, you've come out with two things that, I mean, just frankly hadn't been true. So, I mean, now, in fairness to him, did something change by the time he released that story? And then that's the gamble you take sometimes. He may have been right, but things changed or something leaked out. Maybe Nick Saban didn't like it. Maybe that player changed his mind overnight. I don't know, but what do you do in this standpoint to try to battle back and earn some credibility back?
I may, just based on what we've seen with him and his background with covering Alabama, he's been as knowledgeable as anybody we've had on any sport regarding Alabama. So I think he might have had insight. And Saban, maybe Saban sees and he's like, hey, you know what? that's not exactly what was going to happen, but now we can't do that. But the problem is in
why would you think really Saban would change if he really felt like Jalen Hurts is? I mean, do you really think Nick Saban cares about what a beat writer's putting out?
Well,
I mean,
I think the other part of that, and that's a really good point.
Now, what's really going to be messed up if Cooper Bateman goes out there for one play, and then Jalen Hurts goes out there and plays the rest of the game. Stephen Smith said, "All right, now who didn't believe?"
But the bigger issue out of that is in today's social media age, nobody really fact checks anything anyway. So as soon as Stephen M. Smith put that out, it started getting retweets. So not only is his credibility then questioned, then it's the people who are retweeting him. And so then,
but you're not getting questioned near as much on a retweet as the source. I mean, the retweet's trying to spread the word, and the likes and the shares and all that kind of stuff. But man, when you go out on the limb and you release some information, you better almost be 110% sure. Not 100% sure, but 110% sure, because, again, it is ROTL. It is your reputation on the line. And in this business, when you depend on that is what you are, is your word, and what you write and what you report, and you miss it a couple of times, especially in that close proximity, it can hurt you. And I'm not saying it's irreparable damage, but it can be close to that, definitely. We'll go ahead and take another break. Scott, when we come back, Auburn depth chart released. Any surprises on there that you saw? We'll talk about it when we come back. Of course, we'll have Brian Matthews on later on in the program toward the end of the show in the second hour. So, but we will talk about Auburn's depth chart when we come back. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR's and SNS Tire right after this.
The Nissan Now sales event is happening now at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. Lynch Nissan has it all. Huge selection, the highest trade allowances, and a hassle-free buying experience. Right now, you can take your pick from the all-new Nissan Altima S or the new Nissan Rogue Select, each starting at just $18,990. That's right, $18,990. Or get 0% financing for 60 months. The Nissan Now sales event going on now at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. Shop online at lynchnissan.com.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
JR Sports Bar and Grill. Mondays, all you can eat fingers, $13.25. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, all you can eat wings, $12.25. Every day, kids in uniforms eat for $1.99. Alabama Street in Alexander City and Highway 280 in Sylacauga.
Meet the new Met of East Central Alabama, David Chabot. By new Met, we mean MetLife Auto and Home. With MetLife's 146-year reputation and David's 18 years of local insurance experience, you and your family get the best coverage rates and service for auto, home, life, or business. Ask about MetLife's Grand Protect policy. If your home were destroyed by a covered loss, MetLife pays the full replacement cost. No depreciation and no cap. That's the peace of mind that only MetLife can deliver. Meet the new Met, David Chabot of MetLife Auto and Home, 334-321-7250 or davidchabot.metlife.com.
I'm attorney Dane Sharp. Here at my office, we want to be different than the big city billboard lawyers. We want to give your case the personal attention that it deserves. We handle auto accidents, tractor-trailer accidents, and other cases where our clients have been injured and need personal legal attention. To me and my staff, You will not just be another number on the case file, and we will return your phone calls. So if you've been injured, give me a call today or visit us on our website.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Satterfield on Highway 280 in Alex City. Satterfield is the Lake Martin area's Big Green Egg and Accessories headquarters.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR's Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire. Brett Pritchard, Scott Hardy here with you for about another hour or so tonight. Get your calls in, 1-800-782-0108, 254-6464. We have been busy and a lot of things going on this summer leading up, so we do want to remind everybody the phone lines are open. Don't be afraid to call. This time of year, the phone lines usually heat up. Everybody's undefeated right now heading into college football, so everybody feels good about their team. Auburn announces their depth chart against Clemson coming up at 8 o'clock Saturday night in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Should be an electrifying atmosphere. We'll start with defense first, and we'll start in the secondary. Scott, at free safety, it's Rudy Ford running with the first team, Nick Ruffin as the second team free safety. At the strong safety, Trey Matthews there as the starter. Markel Boston is the second team guy. In the nickel position, Rudy Ford, leading tackler on the team back, expecting to have a tremendous season. I remember coming out of high school, a 4-star running back. Auburn converted him over to a defensive back. It's been a very good switch for him. I think it gives him a very good option to go pro one day in that position. Joshua Holsey will be in the nickel backup role there. At corners, it'll be Javaris Davis and Joshua Holsey in really, I guess, platoon duty on one corner. And then Carlton Davis locking down the other, the freshman All-SEC. Had gotten a little all-season trouble, has battled back. Will start against Clemson. John Broussard Jr. will be his backups. Your thoughts so far in the secondary there as that's been released?
Secondary-wise, I think that may be the strength. Now, I know from a depth perspective, maybe the defensive line may be where we have the most depth, but from talent, I think that the secondary is hands down what's going to carry Auburn, because I think we want to play a lot of man, because it'll allow us to be able to blitz more. But if you're blitzing, you're going to have to play a lot of man. And I think Carlton Davis has the opportunity. He was an All-SEC freshman last year. Has an opportunity to be big time.
Real physical corner.
Yeah, I mean, he fits the mold of what NFL guys are looking for now. You're 6'2" guy kind of that can run.
He's very similar to Drake or Patrick.
Absolutely. That's a good call there.
So I think he looks kind
I
of
don't like Rudy Ford being the leading tackler, though. I don't necessarily.
I mean, this year he's going to have to battle, because I think Auburn, with what they've got at linebacker and defensive line, I mean, there's not going to be as many opportunities for Rudy Ford, which will be good. Middle linebacker, it will be either Deshaun Davis or Trey Williams, not in that order. So both guys really have battled. They really high on both of them. Very complimentary of both. So, hey, look, it's always better to have two than none, or just one. At weak side backer, it's Montrevious Atkinson. I've heard a lot of great things about him in the offseason. Or T.J. Neal, the transfer from Illinois, who a lot of people felt like, as weak as we were in linebacker last year, would just come in and anchor one of those positions. Well, not the case. He's going to get playing time, but I think, to me, that's a big-time statement for this defense, because T.J. Neal has already proved himself. I know he played in the Big Ten. He played for Illinois, but he comes back and he's on a defense that they're not just handing him a position there, Scott. Strong side backer, I like these two, Darrell Williams and Richard McBride. Richard McBride from Charles Henderson, Darrell Williams from Hoover. I think it's time now for those guys to step up and prove that they're the 4- and 5-star talent that they were recruited to be.
Yeah, Darrell, excuse me, the two names on there for me, Darrell Williams and
Trey Williams.
Trey Williams are
the
two.
You were thinking
yeah,
about.
And those two have to, especially for Trey Williams, he has to be. I think he has to be a leading tackle on the team. And if he's not, or at least in the top two there, because if you're,
that's what you want your middle linebacker
he
to be.
needs to be. I mean, we've seen it. His ability to play on the ground or standing up, so we know he's physical. But for Auburn to be able to be as successful as they need to be, he's going to have to be a major force. But a lot of that will play dictate on the next group of people that you're about to talk about there.
This defensive front now, on paper, 4 and 5 stars, aplenty. I mean, I really don't remember us having this much talent 2 and 3 deep as this group has here. Now, again, on paper is different than on the field. But at the buck position, you got a 5-star and a 5-star, Carl Lawson and Jeff Holland. I mean, both of those guys, obviously Carl Lawson, we're all praying for a healthy season for him to really see and showcase what he can do. It's just been such an unfortunate situation for him the last 2 years to not be healthy. On the defensive tackles, Dontavius Russell and Maurice Swain Jr. or Andrew Williams. I'm talking 3 deep here. 3 deep at the other tackle. Montravius Adams, either Derek Brown or Devereaux Lawrence. Devereaux Lawrence really came on at the end of the season. I thought he played outstanding in the Memphis game. Montravius Adams had a really good game, really good second half of the season. And then you throw in the mix probably one of the best freshman defensive tackles in the country in Derek Brown. I mean, this is some 4 and 5-star guys that, I mean, anybody would want. Anybody and everybody did want these guys when they came out of high school.
Obviously, Carl Lawson is going to get the most attention nationally because of what the expectation level was when he got here and what he was able to do as a freshman, and then ultimately, the injury bug has gotten him. But I'll say this, the person who I've been rooting for the most to live up to the hype is Montravius Adams. The skill set is there, and the name recognition and the star power was there, but he hadn't been able to be as consistent as you would like. And I think, though, with the depth, again, this defense is similarly built to what the 2013 defense was, where there was just so much depth. And so when you're 10, 11.
They don't give up as many points as they did in 13. I mean, we'll have to be better than that probably, because I don't think our offense is going to be as dynamic. I'm hoping it's going to be more along the lines of the 2004 defense. We hadn't seen one of those around here in a long time. Actually, the 2008 defense was pretty good. The record didn't show it, but 2008 defense was very good. The other defensive end, Marlon Davidson, freshman, 5-star.
Stud.
Byron Cowart, number 1 player in the country 2 years ago. Or Paul James III, number 1 defensive player in junior college coming out. I mean, 3 guys at one. I mean, you're 3 deep, Scott, across the board. I mean, they're depth, quality. Got to see some production this year from this defensive unit. I'm talking from defensive line to middle line, to linebackers, to the 3rd level in the secondary. You've got a lot of talent all over the field. We're going to take a break here, the top hour break. We come back, we'll run down the offensive depth chart for the Auburn Tigers as that was released. Obviously, last week, Sean White was named the starting quarterback. That's no surprise. We'll run down the rest of the depth chart for you on offense when we come back. Stay tuned. More Sportz Blitz Live presented by JR's and SNS Discount Tire right after this.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At U.S. AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. AmeriBank difference. U.S. AmeriBank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Sydney LaRue, a member of the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team. I'm excited to partner with Nesquik to spread the word about the proper nutrition after a workout or game. Research suggests that low-fat chocolate milk, like Nesquik, contains the ideal mix of carbohydrates to protein that can help refuel and restore exhausted muscles. That's why I refuel my body with Nesquik after tough games and practices. Refuel with Nesquik.
Refuel with Nesquik, a proud supporter of Alabama High School athletics.
Jackson Refrigeration is Central East Alabama's Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer. With rapid response time and on-budget pricing, we're Central East Alabama's and the area's authorized Goodman Heating and Air dealer. We make your peace of mind easy and give you peace of mind when it comes to your heating and air needs. As a Superior Solutions dealer, Jackson Refrigeration can help save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Jackson Refrigeration works on all existing brands and units and has the team to solve your heating and cooling needs, no matter the season.
And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah.
You can count on the caring team at Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation. Our services include physical, speech, and occupational therapy. Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation, 256-329-9061.
In a world that's ever changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a 4-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you. Central to your success. This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Alex City Marine, the Lake Martin area's premier new and used boat and motor dealership. Find out more at alexcitymarine.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire. Brett Pritchard and Scott Hardy with you till 9 o'clock. We'd love to hear from you. 1-800-782-0108, 256-234-6464. Just ran down the depth chart for Auburn defensively. We'll move over to the offense now, and we'll start with the offensive line. Left tackle, and this guy was playing some center, bouncing back and forth. But your starter at left tackle will be Austin Golson. So I want to go ahead and preface that a lot of people feel like this may be one of the better offensive lines in the country coming into this season. So we'll see because of the depth and some of the guys that are back and some of the preseason award list guys that we have. But Austin Golson is your starter. Darius James is the backup at left tackle. At left guard, Alex Kozan, who feels like has been at Auburn for 22 years. Was preseason, was an All-SEC guy 2 years ago, then hurt his back, and then played limited, then came back last year. I mean, everybody expecting big things from Alex Kozan this year. Deion Mix or Markel Harrell will be his backup at left guard. At center, Xavier Dampier, the junior college transfer, will be running the ship there. And Caleb Kim, who was a 4-star recruit coming in a couple of years ago, will be his backup. On the right side of the offensive line, you've got Braden Smith, who may be one of the best offensive linemen in the country. Yeah. And would not be shocked if he won several awards this year. Mike Horton will be his backup at right guard, and at right tackle, Robert Leff. Robert Leff is a unique story. He was a 2-star guy that came in that everybody was like, why did Auburn sign that guy? And has really turned heads and worked his way into a starter. So, I want to say that about him, and for kids that go out there and think that they're never going to amount to anything, they can't achieve a goal. I mean, this guy, first of all, was barely made it on the team, and then now, and Auburn's got some great offensive linemen, and he's worked his way up to a starter at right tackle. So I think it's a great feel-good story there. Pritz Tega as his backup, who is a guy that's just raw as far as talent-wise, but they've worked with him. He was on the defensive side of the ball, moves over to right tackle, and has worked there and has worked his way up to the second team there. So I think big things for him before he leaves Auburn at some point. And I don't know when that's going to happen, but we'll see. At H-back/tight end, it'll be Chandler Cox and Landon Rice, who have worked their way in there. I think a lot of people are excited about Chandler Cox, and they were excited when Auburn signed him because of taking over for Jay Prosh and being the number one fullback in the country. It was a big get in this Gus Malzahn type offense. At the receivers, it will be Marcus Davis starting at one receiver, which I don't think anybody is shocked there. Ryan Davis gets the start at another receiver, and then Stanton Truitt or Will Hastings will find that slot receiver type, and then Darius Slayton. Backups there, Nate Craig Myers or Jason Smith, Eli Stove, who I think we're going to see a lot of. All of those guys, Tony Stevens and Kyle Davis, will back up a couple of guys. I mean, you're going to see that's a deep receiving core. I mean, I just rattled off 6 names there, and actually more than that. I actually rattled off 7 names, very deep there, and all of them can play. All of them can get out there, from the Tony Stevens to the Ryan Davis to the Marcus Davis to the newcomers, from Nate Craig Myers to Eli Stove to Kyle Davis. I mean, Jason Smith, highly touted coming in a couple of years ago. Will Hastings, Stanton Truitt. I mean, how fast that guy is. A lot of depth there, Scott.
Yeah, and the thing you look at the receiver position now compared to before is that for a while Auburn was signing. Now Jason Smith is the anomaly here, and with the most part of those guys, but was signing a lot of athletes that were trying to transition into receiver. Now, I mean, you've got a legit receiving core now, and ultimately, if we decide that we're going to be a team that throws the ball maybe 25, 30 times a game, which you would have to think that would be some of the case with Sean White being the quarterback and this deep of a receiving core, but I would expect, I mean, you could have 3 or 4, 600, 700-yard receivers potentially.
Yeah. Could be a different style for sure. At running back, this is very interesting. Kerryon Johnson, the starter. Cameron Petway is the second-team running back. Again, losing Javon Robinson, that definitely hurt back there, but I've heard a lot of things out of Malik Miller. And you know, there's a couple other guys that Auburn's running there, but probably the thinnest position we've got on offense is at tailback. Obviously, the quarterback, Sean White, gets the start. Jeremy Johnson from John Franklin III will be the backup there. I mean, sometimes you just need to read signs. So, but anyway, that's the depth chart. I did fail to mention the special teams. Daniel Carlson obviously will be the kicker. Kevin Phillips will return as punter. Tyler Stovall will be the holder. John Franklin III, the backup holder there. So, long snapper is Ike Powell, and a lot of times you discredit that, but that long snapper is maybe as important as anybody on the team. Kick return is going to be Rudy Ford, Kerryon Johnson, Cam Martin, or Stanton Truitt. So all 4 of those guys are going to have an opportunity to return. At punt return, it looks like one guy has solidified our punt return duties, and that's Marcus Davis. Somebody they trust that can catch and don't drop the ball. I mean, that's the most sit on the edge of your seat position out there. It's when they punt the ball up in the lights and guys back there. I mean, those plays can swing games so quickly. Mm-hmm. So I like Marcus Davis, and he's electrifying too. If he gets an opening, he can go to the house. So there's your depth chart for Auburn fans out there. We'll run down Alabama's coming up a little bit later on and talk about them as we head into the latter part of the show. Scott, at this time, I do want to slide back over, talk some high school football, and we want to start with our players of the week before we close out this segment of the program. And we'll start with the East Alabama Player of the Week, sponsored by the Alabama National Guard. Make sure you check them out on the web at nationalguard.com/AL. Melvonta Robinson from Lynette High School. You want to talk about this school, this team is racking up points, put up 60-plus this past weekend. He scored 3 touchdowns and helped his team win 61-25 over Notasulga. Notasulga, I mean, is not a shabby program. And so Melvonta Robinson helping his team improve, and they're on a collision course with Lafayette here in a few weeks. Both teams, if you add up Lafayette and Lynette's points this past week, they scored over 100 together. So congratulations to Melvonta Robinson from Lynette High School, the East Alabama Player of the Week.
Up next is Alabama National Guard Lake Martin Area Player of the Week, which is Drew Hill, who plays for the team that gave me the most delight on Friday, the Horseshoe Bend Generals. He rushed for 326 yards and 4 touchdowns in the 55-13 win over Donahoe.
Moving over to Lee County Player of the Week, also sponsored by the Alabama National Guard, Weldron Ford of Opelika High School. And I have a feeling on this show this year, there's going to be a lot of Lee County Players of the Week coming off that Opelika High School football team. The senior tailback just slid in to that starting position, had 160 yards on 22 carries, and scored 2 touchdowns against rival Auburn. They blanked Auburn 28-0. So congratulations to Weldron Ford of Lee County, or of Opelika High School, and winning the Lee County Player of the Week.
Another big win. We have the Kenneth Ingram Jr. Montgomery Area Player of the Week. Mike Huntley, representing Robert E. Lee High School, completed 22 of 31 passes for 371 yards and 4 touchdowns, while also carrying the ball 14 times for 92 yards and had 3 touchdowns there as well on the ground, and a 51-44 win over Park Crossing. So congratulations to Mike Huntley and Robert E. Lee.
The Russell Dewitt Center, Russell Building Supply, AHSA Radio Network Player of the Week is Stephen Crowder of Gardendale High School. Scored 3 different ways during Gardendale's 26-13 upset of then number 2 in 7A class, James Clemens. A 35-yard fumble return, a 17-yard rushing touchdown in a package where he plays quarterback, and in a 13-yard touchdown reception. He also had, listen to this, he also had 22 tackles and 2 sacks. I mean,
was he the only player?
I mean, they should have just took him up there. And if I'm James Clemens, I'll let one guy beat me. I mean, seriously. And so congratulate. I mean, this may be the most phenomenal Player of the Week we've ever had. I mean, I'm serious. And we had a guy from Bob Jones last week had 2 99-yard runs. Stephen Crowder, I'm going to repeat this.
Yes,
Gardendale High School, which, let me just say, they had a phenomenal season last year and made it deep into the playoffs. And a lot of people said, watch out for Gardendale this year. Well, they opened up with number 2 James Clemens in 7A, which is a class above them. And a lot of people felt like James Clemens is the favorite to win 7A this year. This kid scored 3 different ways, 3 touchdowns, a 35-yard fumble return, a 17-yard rushing touchdown where he played quarterback like a Wildcat formation. And then he had scored on a 13-yard touchdown reception. I think he threw it to himself. And then he went over on defense and had 22. I mean, look, 22 tackles is the reason I stopped there, because 22 tackles is crazy. That is amazing. And then he had to add 2 sacks behind the line of scrimmage. So 22 tackles and 2 sacks in a game where you're playing one of the best teams in the state of Alabama in all classifications. Man, I'm blown away here by Stephen Crowder. So congratulations, and I think you got one more. Hard to follow.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to follow. But the Lyman Ward Military Academy AISA Player of the Week is DJ Dunnigan of Watauga Academy. The senior had 24 carries for 183 yards and 3 touchdowns in a 54-32 win over Tuscaloosa Academy.
Some great achievements, and you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. We'll repost this. Just some tremendous accomplishment. And this is one of the most fun things that we see every week. And if you'd like to nominate a player, some highlight, some accomplishment that we might miss, call us. Send us a tweet. Send us an email. Whatever it is that you'd like to do to give recognition to somebody out there around the state of Alabama. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll dive back in to college football, talk about the Alabama Crimson Tide and their depth chart. Don't have a quarterback for them yet, but we'll run that down when we come back. Stay tuned. More Sportz Blitz Live presented by JR's and SNS Discount Tire right after this.
Purchasing a new home is easier than you think, and America's Home Place can show you the way. For over 41 years, we've built thousands of homes for people just like you. We guide you through the entire process, from purchasing a lot, finding financial options, to putting the finishing touches on your beautiful new house. Come tour our showroom and see over 100 customizable floor plans. Visit us online at americashomeplace.com/TV for a free floor plan book. America's Home Place. We make building easy.
CTE Small Engines next to Tigertown and Opelika is East Alabama's full lawn and land equipment supercenter. CTE Small Engines offers full mower lines from Husqvarna to Toro, whether it's the Toro Zero Turn MX 5000 or the great line of tough Husqvarna push mowers. CTE has the region's best prices and selection. CTE offers a full line of Echo to make taming your lawn a breeze. And best of all, CTE has a full service department for warranty work. CTE Small Engine in Opelika, your lawn's ultimate sales and service center.
Now's the time to make a splash during the summer clearance event at Bice Motors. Get incredible summer savings on our entire inventory. Save over $10,000 on a great selection of new 2016 Ram trucks. Thinking about a Jeep? Bice has the Lake Martin area's largest selection of Jeep Renegades, Patriots, Compass, Cherokees, and Grand Cherokees, all priced to move.
Guaranteed lowest price, or we'll pay you the difference in price twice.
Don't miss the summer clearance event going on now. BiceChryslerDodge.com.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Media, and LMG Baker Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design and branding to ad placement and everything in between, LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
Harbor Point Ship Store has everything to make your day on the lake more enjoyable. Come on out to the biggest marina on the water, stocked with name brands like O'Brien Wakeboards, Airhead Tubes, and Costa Del Mar sunglasses. Stop by for lunch. They have pizza, hot dogs, burgers, and more. Get your gas, groceries, snacks, ice, and everything you need for a fun day on the lake. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned boat? Harbor Point has the best selection around of everyone's favorite Crest pontoons and Four Winds boats. Harbor Point also has a great selection of pre-owned boats. Come on out and take a look at Harbor Point, Marina Point Road in Dable. Get to the point.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Russell Do-It Center, offering a complete assortment of lumber, building materials, electrical, and plumbing supplies. Russell Do-It Center stores deliver first-class service, top-rate products, and competitive do-it-best pricing.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and SNS Discount Tire. I want to give a shout-out to both of them. Scott, they've been with us forever. Couldn't ask for better corporate partners here. Been bringing you Sports Blitz for almost 12 years now. So, stop it. You were a mere kid. Now you are graying quickly with all of your everything that you have. So that's going on. But anyway, glad to have those two. Met with Wary Sexton today and ate lunch with him, and things are going so well for them and at JR Sports Bar and Grill. Glad to have both of them on as our corporate partners here at Sports Blitz. Talked about Auburn's depth chart yesterday. Alabama released their depth chart, and we'll start with their offense, not their defense. But we'll start with left tackle Cam Robinson. Is obviously the starting left tackle there, one of the top in the country. Matt Womack, whose brother played at Alabama, will be the backup there. Lester Cotton is left guard starter. Dallas Warmack who also had a brother, Chance Warmack, that played at Alabama, will be the backup there. And then Brandon Kennedy will be the third string guy. Bradley Bozeman, who we saw that played for, I believe, let me get this right now, Handley a couple of years ago in the state championship game. Big kid, I remember him. Will be the center. So congratulations to him for earning that job there. J.C. Hassner will be the backup. Josh Casher, we saw him at St. Paul's, will be the third string guy. Ross Piers Baker, that's how you pronounce his name. I know it says Piers Bacher, but Piers Baker, Ross Piers Baker will start at right guard. Alphonse Taylor, who we saw at Davidson a few years ago, will be the backup there. And Brandon Kennedy will be third string, and at right tackle, Jonah Williams will get the start, and Corin Curvin will be the backup there. Wide out at the X position will be Robert Foster / Calvin Ridley will be in that position some, along with Raheem Falcons. At the H position, Calvin Ridley gets to start. Garrick Dieter and Cam Sims, along with Xavier Marks, will be the backups there. At the Z position, Ardarius Stewart, Cam Sims, Derek Keefe, and TJ Simmons. So a lot of new faces in the receiving corps outside of Ardarius Stewart and Calvin Ridley. Obviously, Robert Foster coming back as well, but a lot of guys backing them up. There'll be a lot of new faces there. You go over to the tight end, a guy that really made a name for himself, we knew was talented in that national championship game, O.J. Howard, will be backed up by Miller Forstall and Irv Smith Jr. Also another tight end, when they go to two tight end set, Hale Hinkins will be the first string, and Brandon Green on that side will be the backup. At running back, Bo Scarborough looks the part, looks like Derrick Henry. He's a tremendous running back in high school, battled a knee injury. We'll see what he's able to do. Damian Harris will back him up. Also, B.J. Emmons and Joshua Jacobs there. A lot of new names in the backfield for Alabama. And at quarterback, it will be either Cooper Bateman or Blake Barnett getting the start there. Jalen Hurts right behind them. So three very talented quarterbacks there. Anything for you that stands out in that particular offensive starting lineup there for Alabama?
Nothing in particular. It's just from an offensive standpoint, I think Calvin Ridley he's going to shatter some records. I think he's
Cooper's record.
I think there's a legitimate opportunity because Lane Kiffin does such a good job of getting that position. He gets his skill position players the ball better than anybody I know. And otherwise, it's Bo Scarborough. I would like to see
position too in that slot.
So. Get the ball. I mean, and people talk about about Auburn and how they may have to be. The screen game could be a heavy effect this year. Alabama utilizes it as well as anybody. Well,
I mean,
I think that if Franklin had been the quarterback, it probably would have.
Offense last year I've ever seen. I mean, seriously, for Auburn. And I know we're getting off track. We'll come back and talk about that. But anyway, you're right. I mean, I hope you got to get more creative. Mm-hmm. And I thought Andy brought up a point. I know we're hopping around, but Alabama, and Auburn, when Shaun White was a quarterback last year, Auburn ran the ball on first down 80% of the time. I mean, you got to be more creative than that, man. I mean, throw a little bit of a mix in there somewhere. That's got to get better. On defense, for Alabama, very strong. Defensive end, Jonathan Allen will be the starter. Deshaun Hand will back him up. At nose tackle, Deron Payne. I mean, obviously, we saw him in high school. Shades Valley, very talented. Joshua Frazier will back him up. Dalvin Tomlinson, the other defensive end, back up Dakota Bell. At linebacker, outside Tim Williams, dynamic, very fast, can get after the quarterback. Anthony Jennings from Dayville High School will be his backup, so congratulations. Anthony Jennings, his brother is on the team as well. So, I mean, they're from Dayville, both guys, tremendous athletes. Outside linebacker, on the other side will be Ryan Anderson, tremendous athlete. Christian Miller and Jamie Mosley will back him up. That is C.J. Mosley's brother.
Okay.
There. Middle linebackers will be Reuben Foster and Sean Deion Hamilton getting the starts. Their backups will be Rashawn Evans, Matt Wilson, and Keith Holcomb. The star position will be Minka Fitzpatrick. He'll return in that role. Shaheem Carter will be his backup. The two corners get the start. Marlon Humphrey, Minka Fitzpatrick will start there some as well. The backups, Anthony Averett and Shaheem Carter there. Eddie Jackson gets to start at strong safety. Ronnie Harrison gets to start at free safety. Hootie Jones is the backup at strong. Deontay Thompson will be the backup at free. And a lot of new guys, man, on this. I mean, there are some starters returning back, but a lot of new names, a lot of talent on that team, but some holes there for Alabama, for some guys to prove where they need to be.
Real quickly before we go to break, I will say I think this is the first time in maybe 2 or 3 years where the secondary is back to where it needs to be for them to be as successful as they've been previously.
Wow. Lord.
I'd
hate for it to get worse.
I'm just saying they've been you could pass on Alabama
off a national championship.
But they were weak. That was if there was a weakness on the team, it was their secondary, and I think they've diminished that now.
Real quick, special teams, Adam Griffith will get the start at kicker. J.K. Stott will be the punter. Holder will be Cooper Bateman. The short snapper, Cole Mazza. The punt returner will be Calvin Ridley. kickoff return will be Ardarius Stewart, Trevon Diggs, Xavier Marks, and Gary Dieter. So there's your special teams battery for Alabama Crimson Tide. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. More to come. Stay tuned. More Sportz Blitz Live coming your way.
How expensive can kids really be? All they need is love, and love is free, right? They're tiny. How much stuff can they really use? I'm still gonna get a new car every year and take the best vacations. Maui, here we come.
Life can surprise you. So can an Allstate agent. Only they can get you 2 safe driving bonus checks a year because every little bit helps. The good hands are doing more than ever before.
Call your Alexander City Allstate agent, Alice Palmer, to learn more today at 256-215-3833.
Do you know that C&T Electric offers a home protection plan for your electrical system? Are you wondering what this is or why you need one? Just like your heating, cooling, and plumbing systems, your electrical system needs to be maintained also. With C&T Electric's home protection plan, you receive annual electrical safety inspections, priority service when you call, discounts on all electrical services, and the dispatch fee is waived on all calls. Call C&T Electric at 256-234-0007 today.
The Nissan Now sales event is happening now at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. Lynch Nissan has it all. Huge selection, the highest trade allowances, and a hassle-free buying experience. Right now, you can take your pick from the all-new Nissan Altima S or the new Nissan Rogue Select, each starting at just $18,990. That's right, $18,990. Or get 0% financing for 60 months. The Nissan Now sales event going on now at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. Shop online at lynchnissan.com.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cast aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
I'm attorney Dane Sharp. If you've been injured in an auto accident, don't choose an attorney simply because they have flashy television commercials and tons of billboards. Call a local attorney who can give your case the personal attention it needs and deserves. For over 20 years, I've handled hundreds of auto accidents, and I take pride in the personal service we provide and the results we obtain for our clients. So if you've been injured, give me a call today and put our team to work for you.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR, Sports Bar and Grill, and SNS. Discount Tire, Brett Pritchard, Scott Hardy here with you for a few more minutes. Got the Brian Matthews interview, as always, for the Auburn Blitz coming up. We'll go to the phone line. Welcome our good friend Luke Robinson here to talk about none other than some Alabama football, I'm sure. But, Luke, glad to have you on, buddy.
Hey, guys. How's it going tonight?
It's good, man. It's been a great show. It's the first week leading up to college football. We'll have a game in a couple days, starting off Vanderbilt in South Carolina. I think that's going to be a very interesting game. Obviously, somebody's going to start off with a loss in conference, and I think it could easily be South Carolina starting off with a loss because they've got to travel to Vanderbilt. Very good defense returning from last year. So I think everybody's just ready to get it kicked off. I don't know if you heard or not. I ran down Auburn's depth chart earlier in the show. I just got finished running down Alabama's depth chart. We had a great guest in Chris Swanson from Trojansports.com on the show earlier tonight as he stepped out of practice and gave an update on USC. So, man, a lot going on, Luke.
Yeah, there really is. And, again, this weekend is so incredible to have so many big matchups. And I know Vandy, South Carolina is the sexiest thing in the world, but you've got two coaches that are pretty intriguing. Vandy, obviously, they need a win to. Really, they just need a win. They're not going to have that.
I was about to say, I mean, don't try to sugarcoat it. They just need to win, period.
Yeah, I mean, look, there are some folks out there who think they will make a bowl game this year. I'm not one of them. But if they're going to make a bowl game, this is a must-win. And then for South Carolina, I mean, look, anytime you play Vandy, if you're anybody else in the SEC, not named Kentucky, you're going to look at that as a must-win.
Luke, does Vanderbilt have the worst luck in the world? The 2 times they go to a bowl game, they go to Nashville. I mean, at least let them go somewhere outside of the city limits. I mean, but that
the school probably dug it because they didn't have to pay a lot of travel expenses.
Well, I know, but I mean, good Lord, at least one time travel somewhere outside of Metro Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the kids would like to do it, but and then there is Appalachian State taking on Tennessee Thursday night too, which again is not the sexiest matchup in the world.
It's
but
really
I think we'll get to see Tennessee and see if they can show what everybody is predicting they're going to have. I mean, I've seen people predict them in the playoffs as late as today. So, I mean, I'm interested to see how they show up on Thursday night. And then, of course, Friday night, getting a whole lot better. I think Kansas State is at Stanford, and Bill Snyder and his 102-year-old self will travel out to Palo Alto to take on the Cardinals. But then Saturday is where it is. I mean, it's just that's a day where you can literally just from 11 o'clock till what?
No, actually, at 6:45 you can cut your TV on and watch the game. Georgia Tech kicks off over in Ireland, so you could actually get up pretty early and start watching college football as early as about 6:30.
Yeah, and I'll probably do it. But there are just a ton of good games. The thing that is bad about this, and Brett, you know I've been a huge advocate for this weekend for 2 years, but just looking ahead on the schedule, the thing that's so terrible about it, I really do wish that, let's say, LSU, Wisconsin, or even Auburn, Clemson was on the next weekend. Because next weekend, the only game that's really worth watching is Tennessee, Virginia Tech, and Bristol. And the only reason that's really worth watching is because of the venue. So I wish that they had spread them out a little bit, but having said that, I mean, this Saturday we're just going to get football overload. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, you're right, and you know, you mentioned that Vanderbilt, South Carolina might not be the sexiest game, but it is when it's the first game, and that's good for both of those programs because if they were mixed up on Saturday, you want to talk about a game that nobody would watch. That it would probably even hurt attendance, as if it's probably going to still hurt anyway with it being them and playing on Thursday. But anyway, they'll have the full attention of the national audience on Thursday night, and it works for them.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And the SEC knew what they were doing. I mean, they have to put that game on Thursday night, or really, I mean, it'd probably be better to put it on Tuesday morning.
I'm the only person who thinks that South Carolina isn't trash. Last year I called it. I thought that'd be trash.
What would make you think they're not trash?
I think that I think Muschamp is. I think he's a better head coach than his Florida ties implies. I really do. Sometimes it just doesn't go right.
Well, we'll see.
But I think the expectation level isn't as high. They'll be able to recruit with the recruiters he has on that. That's all he has to do.
I think so opposite of everything you're saying. And I don't know what you think, Luke, but I mean, you and I were not high on Will Muschamp at Florida, and I think you have inherent disadvantages when you go to South Carolina and you were at one of the most talent-rich programs in the country, and now you go to a place where it is notoriously tough to recruit. And to me, Will Muschamp's not a very good head coach, and I just don't. I think this is his last ride as a head football coach in college football outside of a smaller program. I think this is his last ride as a top in the top echelon. Luke, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think after Steve Spurrier, who were they going to get? And I think that Muschamp may be the perfect coach for them post-Spurrier because of this. He's going to recruit well. He got a kid named Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston?
No, Jameis Williams.
I mean, I was going to say, if we got another Jameis Winston coming through.
He's got a good-looking quarterback coming in named Jameis Winston.
Well, now I changed my prediction then.
Yeah, and he's he's recruiting gangbusters, at least by South Carolina standards, which is something Steve Spurrier let absolutely slip. So what I think is going to happen is South Carolina is going to keep him for 3 years. And I think he's going to recruit well for 3 years. And then the next guy will have a good foundation on which to build. But honestly, I don't think, winning-wise, I don't think South Carolina's going to be a threat to make it to the SEC championship game.
A threat.
No.
I think they'll be doing good to win 4 ball games this year.
I think they win 7 games.
Well, I'm just telling you, I don't see it.
My
But that's
predictions have
fine.
to come
Everybody's
back.
got their own opinion, and that's fine. I mean, that's why you get back and you look at the end of the season and go, well, I nailed that one or I didn't. So, but Luke,
Kaepernick has taught us that everybody can have their own opinions, right?
there's no doubt about it. I mean, that's why we live in this country. And I want to get your thoughts on a couple things. Obviously, that being one of them. This has just drawn so much attention, and if that was what his goal was, to draw attention, but a lot of people have come out. Jerry Rice has denounced what he did. I thought Harrison on NBC, former defensive back for the New England Patriots, came out and really blasted him. Getting
NFLPA.
Catching a lot of flack for what he's doing. And, you know, a lot of people, I mean, look at Glenn Coffey. I thought I saw that comparison on Facebook. Glenn Coffey had a chance to play in the NFL, turned it down, joined the U.S. Army, went overseas, fought, and he, I mean, basically that's a comparison. If you want to put your money where your mouth is, do more than sit down and not pay homage to the national anthem.
Yeah, I agree with that in this sense. Okay, here's the thing. I think everybody says that we're losing, the people that are anti-Colin Kaepernick are losing sight of what he's saying. And I don't think that's true at all. In fact, I think it's the other way around. I think people supporting him are losing sight of the fact that the way he's protesting is really stupid. I mean, frankly, it is. It makes him a jerk, which makes people even want to hear him less. I think if Colin Kaepernick had come out, look, Brett, you weren't in the military. I wasn't in the military. Scott, you weren't in the military. I mean, some people aren't fit for the military, aren't made for the military. We weren't. Glenn Coffey had a calling. I don't need Kaepernick to be Glenn Coffey. And I'm totally okay with Colin Kaepernick having the belief that there are inequities in our justice system, there are inequities in society.
And that's what makes this country so great, is that you can feel that way, and you don't get persecuted by that.
Right. And I'm totally okay with his opinion of that. And if he had just, even so much has come out, if he had worn a Black Lives Matter T-shirt, or if he had come out and said, you know, look, if somebody had brought up a question about any of those subjects, and he had said, look, I support that movement, and I hope that we can get some things changed, and I think there should be some intelligent discussion about it. Well, it's kind of hard for him to say, I want to have an intelligent discussion about it, when he's not standing up for the Pledge of Allegiance, which is something that for the national anthem, which is something that should bring us all together, first of all. And secondly, he's doing all this while wearing a Castro T-shirt, and when you hear him talk about the subject, he's just throwing out generalities. He's not saying anything specific. He's saying, well, I think there are a lot of things wrong with the way cops treat African Americans. Well, as a society, we were already talking about that because of Ferguson and Milwaukee and other things going on in Chicago and in Texas. We've already been discussing that. So his protesting the national anthem isn't bringing anything to light. It just makes him look like a jerk, to be honest.
Well, what it does, and it makes him look like a guy that nobody wants to pull for, and now the San Francisco 49ers and their team have to deal with this crap and what he's done. And to me, a lot of people have called him out for being selfish. And look, I respect his right to stand up for what he believes in. That's what makes this country so great. But what he did and how he did it, the avenue in which he went down, to me, was a bad deal on his part. And now he's going to have to suffer the consequences. And you better understand the repercussions when you do something, and you better have thought it out really well. And I'm not too sure he thought it out too well. I think he was trying to draw attention to him. I mean, for goodness sakes, he hasn't even been the secure starter for San Francisco since the Super Bowl. So a lot of times guys like that try to make news and draw attention to themselves, and then sometimes you do that, you bite off more than you can chew, and I'm not too sure he hasn't done that here.
Well, here's the thing. People want to compare him to Muhammad Ali. He's not Muhammad Ali. Look, Muhammad Ali basically gave up 3 years in his prime fighting life and gave up a lot of money for his stance, okay? And yes, we do look back on Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali took a lot of grief initially. And we look back on him more fondly now because people's perception of that war has changed. People remember him for being so ill with the Parkinson's. And so people have changed their opinion of him. And also, he just recently passed. So the thing with Colin Kaepernick, I mean, he's not taking that kind of. He's got what, $60 million in the bank. It's easy to take a stand on whatever you want to when you've got $60 million in the bank and you're not going to be the starter anyway. I mean, he's sitting on the bench for the national anthem. He was sitting on the bench anyway. Again, I don't think what Colin Kaepernick's doing was just very smart. I am totally supportive of his right to be stupid, but I just think he's being stupid.
I totally agree, and this will continue to get play, and I think it's a propaganda stunt on his part, and we'll see how it plays out. Before we let you go, real quick, Luke, because we got to get out of here, your score for Alabama on Saturday.
I think in the end, Alabama is probably just a little too much, and I think that USC runs the kind of offense kind of like Michigan State does, and we saw what happened last time Alabama played a Michigan State-style offense. So I'll say, Alabama wins something like 24-14. I think there's still some offensive kinks for Alabama to work out, though.
Good stuff, Luke. Looking forward to this weekend. We'll see you soon, okay?
All right, guys.
Thanks so much.
Real quick before we go, I'll give mine. All right, Alabama, USC 23, Alabama 20, Clemson 42, Auburn 27.
Good Lord. 42-27.
They're putting up 40. Now, we may put up 42, but Clemson is putting up 40.
You don't have much faith in that defense. Obviously.
I just saw what they did in January to the best. You just talked about the greatness of the defense Alabama had.
Well, they didn't do it to Louisville.
God, why did we wait till this?
They didn't do it to Louisville. But anyway, I'm out. Scott's out. Mike's out. It's going to be fun this weekend. Tune it in. Next Tuesday should be a lot of fun. We'll know where a lot of people stand after next Tuesday. And Colin Kaepernick, maybe he'll stand when we come back. Stay tuned. More Sportz Blitz Live coming your way right after this.
If you currently have an FHA mortgage, this commercial is for you. Most people that currently have an FHA mortgage are working with Home Place Mortgage to refinance their current loan. Several items have changed to make now the perfect time to refinance. FHA has reduced the amount of monthly mortgage insurance. Current interest rates for FHA loans are at all-time lows. FHA has eliminated the need for new appraisal. Most people will be able to refinance with little or no closing costs. This is the opportunity that you have been waiting for. Call now to start saving.
Show Enough Barbecue. Since 1990, we've been serving you the finest barbecue in Alexander City. Gerald believes in cooking fresh meat daily, and the secret to that is, I'm not going to tell you. Show Enough is just not about barbecue, but also known for fresh vegetables and homemade pies. That's where I come in. I'm Linda Sanford, better known as the Pie Lady. We also do catering. For more information, give us a call at 234-7675.
Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. At Walls, you'll find a dedicated staff offering top quality service from routine maintenance to a full engine overhaul and everything in between. Brian Walls and the folks at Walls Tire are local folks that you know, and they provide the best service, always at a fair price. Find out what the rest of the Lake Martin area already knows. Walls Tire is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. Just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
My parents got good news the other day. Mommy and Daddy were really happy. This is how happy they were. They were actually dancing. That was hard to watch. Whew, at least they didn't kiss.
Russell Medical Center, delivering future leaders of tomorrow, today.
We are Steel, German-engineered chainsaws and landscape products.
The majority of which are made here in America by Americans.
over 90 countries around the world.
Find out why steel is #1 in America at steelusa.com.
Find your Steel outdoor products and more at the new Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Now's the time to make a splash during the summer clearance event at Bice Motors. Get incredible summer savings on our entire inventory. Save over $10,000 on a great selection of new 2016 Ram trucks. Thinking about a Jeep? Bice has the Lake Martin area's largest selection of Jeep Renegades, Patriots, Compass, Cherokees, and Grand Cherokees, all priced to move.
Guaranteed lowest price, or we'll pay you the difference in price twice.
Don't miss the summer clearance event going on now. BiceChryslerDodge.com.
With Brian Matthews from AuburnSports.com. Brian, as always, great to have you on the show.
Yeah, I'm not really walked away, just to confirm that.
Well, I appreciate you being with us today. In honor of Gene Wilder passing.
That's right.
Great movies that he was in, but got a favorite Gene Wilder movie?
The one you just mentioned.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Yep. I still maintain Blazing Saddles may be the funniest movie ever made.
Yeah, that's a great one too. And I hate that they remade Willy Wonka. There's no need to ever do that. But yeah, he had a great run there, and just had to see him go.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, it's game week. Can you tell? I mean, is there a different sense feeling in the air down on the plains?
I think so. I think everybody's been ready for this. It's been a long preseason. It started, feels like months ago. August 3rd was, and I think we've gotten through the quarterback battle, and we got the depth chart now. The only thing that's left to do is play that game on Saturday.
Absolutely. Well, the depth chart, the official quote-unquote depth chart was released today. Anything on there surprise you?
Probably Darius Slayton being one of the starting wide receivers. Was a little bit surprised. We'd heard a few things about him and expected him to be part of the rotation, but we had no idea that he was doing good enough to earn that starting role. So props to him for stepping up in the fall. And I thought it was interesting that Marlon Davidson is the starting strong side defensive end. He started the 8A game, and we knew that Byron Cowart was putting up a good fight during fall. And of course, Paul James also was fully healthy, so we didn't know how that would end up. But again, Marlon Davidson, a true freshman that is, mature beyond his years, is going to be a terrific player at Auburn for the next 2 years.
Yeah, no question about that. The Darius Slayton thing, that certainly caught my eye as well. So much talk about Tony Stevens coming into the year, talking about how he needed to step up. He was a senior. Do you think? I mean, I don't know. Do you have a sense? That Darius Slayton just played better? He has stepped up better. I knew that he was a guy that had a lot of talent, but is this Tony Stevens not stepping up? Do you have a feel one way or the other?
Oh, I think Darius Slayton just stepped up and beat him out. That's what I think. And I think Tony Stevens, he's listed as a close second team with Cal Davis. So, and Cal Davis has only practiced for a week and a half so far. So, I think that could be Cal Davis could be stepping up to that number 2 spot fairly soon. By October possibly if he stays healthy. So, props to Darius Slayton again. He's a guy that has good size at 6'2", 191. He's one of the faster guys on the team, has that big play potential, and now he's going to get a chance to show that against a really good opponent in Clemson on Saturday night.
When you talk about young talent, you mentioned Marlon Davidson, you mentioned guys on certainly Derek Brown on the defensive line, but one of the biggest positions that Auburn does have some serious young talent is at wide receiver, and Sean White is named quarterback since the last time we spoke. When you look at this Auburn offense now, he's not Cam Newton by any means. He's not Nick Marshall. He is Sean White. So how does this offense run with Sean White under center? Last year it was, when he was there in the first few games that he started, you could tell that it was very Gus wanted to bring him along really, really slow. Well, he's a redshirt sophomore now. He's been through spring training. He's been through fall camp. He's won the job. So what does this offense look like, and how do these receivers hopefully step up to help him with his offense.
Well, he should be a better quarterback. All that experience you talked about, and that time as a starter and everything he went through last year, and then having a whole off season to compete for that job and get better, that should make him a better quarterback out there on the field on Saturday. So that's what Auburn needs. And, I can't say for sure how good he's going to be or how good the offense is going to be until I see it, because who knows? It's all just talking speculation. But if Sean White is better, and if he can make a few more big plays in the passing offense and keep the defense honest with some scrambles and some runs on zone reads, I mean, he could be a very successful guy. I don't think Chris Todd was any more or less talented than Sean White was, and Chris Todd threw for a then Auburn record 22 touchdowns back in 2009. So if Sean White can put up numbers like that, that would be a good start on offense for Auburn.
Well, Gus Malzahn has been accused of being stubborn a few times. Obviously, Sean White's strength is the fact that he is he's accurate. His accuracy throwing the football. Now, Gus has made mention leading up to the start of the season that whoever was named the quarterback, they were going to have to run more. Sean White, I think health is a consideration with him. He, like I said, he's not Nick Marshall. He's not Cam Newton. I don't know how much they want him to run, but do you think Gus will change the offense a little bit to mold it to Sean and let him, throw for, 3,000 yards if he's capable?
I think that's quite possible if he's capable of doing it. But I do think he's still going to run. I mean, Chris Todd ran when Sean White was healthy. He was running the ball and effectively at times. So I still think that needs to be an important part of the offense to help out that offensive line, to help out those running backs, and to keep all that misdirection going. You need to be able to freeze that defensive end or have that little option there with the quarterback run. So I think that'll be a part of it. But if you have a quarterback like Sean White, as your main guy, you would think that passing would be a more important part of the offense than it would be if you had a Nick Marshall or Cam Newton back there, because both those guys were so effective running the ball.
Well, on the depth chart, it listed Jeremy Johnson or John Franklin III as the backup. I guess logically to me, it just makes sense that Jeremy Johnson would be the backup and John Franklin's going to serve in a Wildcat role. Is that the way you see it?
That's exactly the way I see it. Jeremy Johnson, if Sean White gets hurt, he's the one that knows the offense and has won some games for Auburn, including a big road win in Texas A&M last year. So he's definitely the guy I would go to, and I think that's the guy who Gus and Brett would trust to put out there right away. And still think John Franklin has a part to play on this team. I'm not sure how much it'll be against Clemson, but I'd be surprised if we don't see him against Arkansas State and have some sort of package like a Wildcat or exactly like a Wildcat quarterback.
Bob bought a Camry. Neighbor Ted bought a Sonata Sport at Hyundai of Auburn and paid $2,000 less. He has no payment for 6 months, saving $3,000 cash flow. With his savings, he bought a boat. Every time Bob sees Ted's boat, it makes him sad. He paid too much. Ted is trying to make Bob happy again by inviting him fishing. Be a Ted at Hyundai of Auburn. What will you do with the money you save?
No pest is too big or too small for Lex Wedgeworth Pest Control. Protect your home or business today from insects, termites, mosquitoes, and more. Lex uses only the latest state-of-the-art technology and equipment to solve your pest problem, including the environmentally friendly Centricon termite baiting system. Lex has been servicing the Lake Martin area for over 35 years, and he has a full staff on hand. Call Lex today, even if it's just a question. 256-234-6162. Lex Wedgeworth Pest Control. Smart solutions to your pest problems.
Over the years, S&S Tire has grown into the Lake Martin area's largest volume tire dealer. S&S Tire offers the industry's best brand names: Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Firestone, and much, much more. The tire pros at S&S offer professional installation and the region's best price. In addition to your tire needs, S&S offers full automotive mechanical work for all your vehicle maintenance and repair needs with the area's most experienced staff. Visit either of our 2 locations on Cherokee Road in Ellick City or at South Street in Dadeville. At S&S Tire, we're installing peace of mind for every customer we serve. Every job, every day.
When you need plumbing service, call on the professionals at A&M Plumbing LLC. For over 20 years, our mission has been to provide the best possible service available in the industry, and we specialize in solving difficult problems. We offer a wide range of services, such as installation, service, repair, and replacement of common fixtures, water heaters, toilets, faucets, drains, sewer lines, and septic tank pumping and cleaning services. Unlike many companies, our septic tank services include field line testing. Our knowledgeable staff will be happy to answer any of your questions. So call A&M Plumbing LLC today.
At the Medicine Shop, we're dedicated to the idea that quality pharmacy care means more than just prompt prescriptions. When you come to the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, you'll be able to count on dependable care from a knowledgeable pharmacist. The Medicine Shop is the only compounding pharmacy in the area, and we offer the shingles vaccine year-round. Bring your prescriptions by the drive-thru on Airport Drive in Alex City, or input them online at www.medicineshop.com, or call them at 256-215-8014. The Medicine Shop, caring beyond prescriptions.
WAXC TV3 Sports presents the high school football game of the week with the Central Clay County Volunteers, Central Coosa, Horseshoe Bend, Reeltown, and more from WAXC TV3 Sports, and available on demand at WKGA975.com. Brought to you by these fine sponsors. All area matchups all season long on the WAXC TV3 Sports High School Game of the Week.